Yeah.
Anyway, so
Oh,
I'm one half of the last hobos, and we're gonna do a podcast here. Whether you're interested or not, it's about Texas stuff, Texas music, Texas food, and Texas fun. We're gonna try to keep it positive. But the other last hobo is John.
that's me. And well, what Alice was saying on there is we kind of have our own little expertise in these things. We're both uh, Texas born and raised in East Texas, and we have a deep love for our state. And you can't tell it by listening to the way we talk, or even worse than that, the way we look. We really have quite a bit of knowledge about all things Texas. So if you have anything you'd like to hear us talk about, shoot us a text or email or something on these computers, and we'll get back to it and talk about it with you.
Did you get strict instructions not to embarrass your wife?
No, but I feel like yours carried over.
She's embarrassed 24/7. So
Actually, I wondered when you said Amber told me not to embarrass her. Did that go for both of us or just you?
she wasn't specific. I would imagine she expects us to embarrass her. So probably both of us.
I think so. Right. In the world of entertainment, start off with our girl from East Texas here, Miranda Lambert, made the news. You see that?
I did see that. I I would imagine that Miranda Lambert's taking the one selfie do so.
Yeah. Well, you know, thing is, if people paid money to go to the concert, I don't see what the problem was myself, but, you know, I have been in smaller venues where the entertainment did tell people to put their phones down and things. But I would imagine you pay to see a concert if you want to take a selfie. I don't see where it was a big deal. I kind of think Miranda followed more on the line and just roll it, you know?
Yeah. I think the venue was big enough that it's not going to distract anybody from behind. So I don't know. It seemed a little out of character too, but who knows? I know the people.
Right, she could just didn't have a bad night. We don't know.
Yeah, I know the people were definitely upset about it. Sounded like a ladies' outing. So I don't know. I know we've never taken a selfie at a concert, so but we're guys.
We've never even taken a picture together.
You know, I was just thinking that last night because I was looking for stuff that we could put on the page. We've never, not even with the man, all the kids running around.
Never.
There's
no.
Hey, it's the career guys in us. We're like, no documentation, please.
Exactly. Right, you know.
John, Adam, the police are here. Nah, wasn't us. What? We were never together.
That's right, we wasn't there.
What they're talking about.
Got any pictures? Well, I guess you saw the Jason Aldean made the news also.
Yeah, I know he's your favorite.
And I'll go ahead and expound on this one if you don't mind. So here's my thoughts. He's in trouble because of the song he recorded about something don't try that in a small town. And you know, the song just says, you know, all these things are going on in the world you could really get away with in a small town. And he recorded the song, which is good for him. Apparently, this is boosted up to #1, which is great for the songwriters, and I'm glad for them. But I don't really understand the big deal with the First Amendment rights. So, you know, I support him to be able to sing a song about anything he wants. What I do not want to get into on this part for me is, man, I know he sold millions of albums, but I don't own any of them. So as far as that goes, I really don't have a dog in this hunt or any thoughts other than I'm supporting the First Amendment right of it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not the biggest Jason Aldean fan. Matter of fact, I'm not really a fan. But hey, I'm not a Snoop Dogg fan either. But y'all do y'all's thing, okay? Like it doesn't matter to me. I mean, from what I can tell, the message is not wrong. I mean, a lot of the stuff that they're talking about there, I did listen to the song. A lot of the stuff that they're talking about there, I mean, he's got a point. I mean, I don't think you're going to easily get away with some flag burning or rioting downtown, local, anywhere for that matter, small town USA. So,
yeah,
I think that the songwriter wrote a good song. I just don't think that Jason's execution is our style of music. It's certainly not.
right.
It's certainly not the country music that we're fond of.
I said I'm not a fan of his necessarily, so it's not going to impact my life very much. And I hate to see people fighting over our rights.
Yep. And one more point to that. I did see one article that tried to brand Jason as the new outlaw country, and we don't need a new outlaw country. So we certainly don't need one spearheaded by Jason Aldean.
Yeah, we come from the more traditionalist, and being from Texas, we like our outlaws to be a little more outlawish. So unless you're going to pull Waylon Jennings up a barn, I'm not going to bring you that way, okay? You're going to have to go a set and do some real good stuff.
Yep.
Now, speaking of that, I saw it late last night and I had a chance to talk to you about it. Did you see the Tyler Childers debacle going on?
I have no idea. To be honest with you, this goes back to another thing. You know how I feel about Tyler Childers. I mean, probably a really nice guy, genuine, but I don't know what the controversy is. But I couldn't even let him tell me about it because his voice, it's unique. I'll leave it at that because
he's very unique, unique voice. And he's kind of become the voice of the working man, I guess, singing about the coal mines back home in the mountains of Appalachia. And it's like, yeah. So they got a video out about, and I didn't get too deep into it because I'm scared of what I might say. But he had a single out, and he's singing about a song, and in the video, it's an older man who he finds a 4-leaf clover. And he starts to reminisce about working in the coal mine. And then he's reminiscing about his lover, who also worked in the coal mine with him. And it's very homosexual, blatant. And, the questions come are just, does this, of course, Tyler would have to approve this somehow, right? What's the thought there? It didn't seem like that video really added to the story any. It could have went either way. But is this something that happened as far as somebody he knows or something that would make a little more sense? Is this something that he's trying to be more inclusive of the LGBTQ people? That would make sense. But it seems like this was just a real shot. Like he just fired a shot off and said, boom, or set off a dynamite, so to speak, and said, boom, I'm going to, bring this into my audience. And it was a very gentle step, let me say it like that.
This is called a pregnant pause. I did not know that that's the way we were going with this Tyler Childers thing. I had no idea.
Well, I told you, you got to buckle up. You never know what's going to come out here, bud.
You win, John. That's still the deal.
I'm not trying to win, trust me.
That puts the nail in the coffin of how I feel about Tyler Childers. I'm sure the coal miners are excited.
Brokeback coal mining company.
So he's marketed himself.
Brokeback coal country.
That's the poor canary in what it's seen. So
no wonder it didn't die of lack of oxygen or anything to kill itself.
Tyler. Oh man.
Well, we always worry about some of the Appalachia stuff that happens.
I'm baffled that has he dubbed himself the voice of the working man? Like what is it? I've been in the workforce a long time, man. Everybody does what they do. I don't know.
I'm not mad at him. I just don't understand why it came out like it did.
Well, hey.
Okay, well, on to more.
Yeah, let's truck on before we get
Let's move on before we do get in trouble.
Oh, Adam and John did one podcast and started a protest.
Protest.
Yeah.
Good. Big news with the Eagles. Randy Meisner, who was an original bass player and singer, known mostly, I guess, for singing "Take It to the Limit," passed away this week, or maybe late last week. I'm unsure, but he passed away. And then Don Henley.
The last 2 years have been rough on our some of our real musicians, you know.
Yeah, they're getting real thin, you know.
Yeah.
And but one more positive note, I'd like to try to at least stand on a positive note talking about music is that Don Henley of the Eagles, also from Linden, Texas. He had a birthday this week, and so far he still looks pretty healthy. So
Don wrote some good songs.
If you see the Eagles, yeah, I'd say if you want to see the Eagles, I'd get out there and see what's left of them. So
yeah.
Who in their right mind would not have bet that Joe Loss would have been the first one of the Eagles to die?
I don't know.
Can you believe that outlived half the group?
Man, when you're the guy holding the chainsaw, it's normally the other guys.
Yeah, they always hurt somebody else, right?
That's it. I mean, hey, the guy's well.
Hey, and you know, hey, we love Joe.
Yeah, and I think
we love him like he is, right?
That's it, and I think even Joe would tell you he's well preserved.
Yeah.
He's probably,
he's pickled.
He's gonna be like Willie.
I think that's what's going on with Dylan Hendricks, not Hendricks, hell no, but Keith.
Yeah.
From the Stones. Yep. Never gonna die.
No.
So, yeah, that's about like I know about it in the music news.
That's all the news.
So what you got down there, man? No, that's all I got in music news. Yeah, that's all the news it is, the news.
So I started to send it to you yesterday, but we won't probably have food every week, but Beaumont Enterprise, which is a local paper, they published an article yesterday about one of the local barbecue places, and that's Charlie's Barbecue. It says Beaumont Barbecue Joint lauded as one of the best in Texas. So take it with a grain of salt. I'll tell you what the guy from New York that they're talking about said. He said it was some of the best barbecue ever. He really lauded the beef links. What I'll say is I've eaten at Charlie's a lot, and that means I think it's delicious. I mean, they got a good brisket. It's tender. It's unique. It's got a lot of black pepper in it. The gentleman that is the barbecue master there, it's his dad's old recipe, and I mean it's is spot on. I mean, it's a good brisket. What I will say is, and to each their own, because you need to go try it, but the links weren't my favorite. So I think maybe there's a New York deal there, because there's different types of barbecue. So, I mean, and Texas is definitely known for their barbecue, but Charlie's delicious barbecue, awesome brisket. Try the links. Let us know what you think. But I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, I would have definitely elevated their brisket instead of the links. But they do make them fresh there.
Right. Well,
Stuff.
yeah. Everybody's not brisket eaters either. You got to say that, you know. Some people like pork.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a fan of the pigs, man. I will say I just got.
I am too. I mean, and I'll say this, you know, I'll say this: if anybody knows pretty good barbecue, if anybody knows good barbecue, you should know. I mean, you cook a pretty good brisket. It's consistent. It's very juicy. Does what you're saying about this? Is it consistent like that? Every time you go, get the same flavors.
Exactly. I've never had a.
It's important to me, you know.
That's it. I've never been there and we're like, man, they're having an off day on the brisket. It hasn't happened. So
yeah,
I'd say probably once a month or so I'll go by there and get a brisket plate. Hey, their ribs are delicious.
I just run by there one day and see.
Yeah, the ribs are delicious.
By there one day and get a couple of plates and maybe we can do a.
I'll let you get the brisket.
You know, review. I like links, you know. We had 2 restaurants open up recently here in Hemphill, and one of them's Cafe, I think 257, and the other one's an old feed store, and that's called a feed store. And I'm here to both of them. I've seen a couple of pictures. I haven't had a chance to eat there, but like I said, I'm hearing some pretty good reviews. So we'll have to swing in and get a couple of plates up one day and see what you think, you know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, man. Speaking of that barbecue, how does was it Charlie's?
Mm-hmm.
How does that compare to Porky's?
So apples to oranges.